in time. Set your eyes upon the shallow surface. Hollow out your mind. How divine you disengage yourself. Tell me of your consolation. Tell me I am lost in the grave. Tell me that your final home is not a shot in the dawn. Tell me that your hopes and dreams don't end in the heart of the set aside your soul. Let tomorrow realize itself. Tell me of your consolation. Tell me I am lost in the grave. Tell me that your final home is not a shot in the dawn. Tell me that your hopes and dreams don't end in the heart of the Tell me that your final home is not a shot in the dawn. Tell me that your hopes and dreams don't end in the heart. Brace for the ending. You may not see. Will you stop descending? Six shallow feet. Tell me of your consolation. Tell me I am lost in the grave. Tell me that your final home is not a shot in the dawn. Tell me that your hopes and dreams don't end in the heart of a graveyard. Of a graveyard. Tell me that your final home is not a shot in the dawn. Tell me that your hopes and dreams don't end in the heart.
Prophecy is being fulfilled every day. That's why I love talking about things like tonight's show, because some people might think, Planet X, what does that have anything to do with prophecy? And the answer is, well, possibly a lot.
Right.
So for those who might not know or might not understand your position on it, or what exactly is Planet X, and what first made you interested in it?
Well, Josh, the first thing when I heard of Planet X several years before this, okay, and thought, well, it's a theory, okay, it's a theory. Maybe there's something out there, and I never tied it. Really, never even seen it tied to biblical prophecy. Not when I first heard of Planet X. But then, after studying the Bible, especially real intensely as it relates to biblical prophecy, and in the book of, first of all, in Matthew 24, you get a list of apocalyptic events that Jesus says is going to happen in the last days, when he was asked specifically the question, what is the sign of thy coming in the end of the world? And you can go down that whole chapter and it's unbelievable. And most of it, lots of it is happening now. Some still hasn't, but lots of it is, okay? But when you talk about Planet X, you begin to realize in the book of Revelation, in the 8th chapter, when it starts talking about these seals breaking, the 7th seal is very fascinating because it says there's going to be specific events that will happen to this planet, that something has to cause it to happen. Now, Jesus said in Luke 21, he said in verse 25, he said, there will be signs in the sun and the moon and the stars, and distress of nations with perplexity, the sea and the waves roaring, and men's hearts fail them for fear of things coming upon the earth. For the powers of heaven shall be shaken. All right, and I stop right there and say, wait a minute, something's coming upon the earth, and it says men's hearts would fail them. They would die of a heart attack because what they know is coming, and it shakes the heavens. And then if you go to Revelation in the 8th chapter, you'll find that it talks about in the 8th verse. So it's Revelation 8:8, and I'll just read a couple verses. It says, the second angel sounded, as it were a great mountain burning with fire was cast into the sea. The third part of the sea became blood, and the third part of the creatures which were in the sea and had life died, and a third part of the ships were destroyed. This is a catastrophic event. Something hits the ocean and creates a tsunami so big that it wipes out a third of the ships in the ocean and a third of the marine life, and it's catastrophic. And then it says, a great star falls from heaven, burning like a lamp. It fell on the third part of the rivers and fountains of waters. And the name of the star is called wormwood. And the third part of the waters become wormwood or bitter. Many men die of the waters because they're made bitter or poisonous, or let's just say radiation. Anytime a meteorite or an asteroid or something comes from the heaven and hits the earth, it brings with it a ton of radiation, which would make waters polluted and you couldn't drink it. So you have two deep impacts. There's two deep impacts coming on the earth, according to Revelation 8, that have to happen. So what causes it? What could shake the heavens, send asteroids or comets crash into the earth, creating a catastrophic, cataclysmic, apocalyptic event? And then you look at the destroyer. Planet X is sometimes called, Nibiru, or the destroyer, and now we're hearing NASA say that something is pulling on the probe around Saturn, pulling on all the planets, the moons of the planets, pulling on something hidden, something somewhere is pulling. It's a gravitational pull. And we see earthquakes and volcanic eruptions last year. We broke the record for most earthquakes, over 6.0 last year, and we broke the record for most volcanic eruptions last year, and we're blowing the world away with sinkholes, and we've never even heard of such a thing. And so something's happening, okay? And something's causing it to happen, but it actually, Jesus said it in Luke 21, and the Bible prophesies it in Revelation 8. So that's where I'm seeing that a Planet X doesn't have to hit us. It's just what it does in the effect is what I truly believe is causing and is going to cause major events on the earth, and it's Bible prophecy.
Yeah, the more I personally hear about different theories and things about Planet X, the more that I'm becoming convinced too. Actually, we in the studio we just had Richard Shaw not too long ago, who deals with Torah codes and things like that, and he brought out some really interesting stuff about Planet X too. And I know a gentleman by the name of Doug Elwell has written a book on Planet X, and so there's a lot of really interesting theories, but there's even some differing opinions concerning Planet X. Based on your research, what's the most convincing evidence that you've come across to support the idea of a type of destroyer planet?
All right. Well, as far as the evidence is concerned, we have a couple things. Number one, NASA first said they spotted it in 1984.